Hello, I'm Sam, and I am your host for this episode of Honoring the Departed. Today, we will be telling the story of Edna Earle Teal. She was a missionary and nurse from Villa Rica, Georgia.
Born in a log cabin just south of Villa Rica, Georgia, on April 15, 1879, Edna Earle Teal never knew what impact she was to have on people's lives. Edna was the fourth child and first daughter born to Susan Emily Mosley and Benjamin Jefferson Teal. One son and two more daughters would be born after her. Her first profession was as a teacher. She graduated from Shorter College, Rome, Georgia, around 1900. Her first teaching job was in Hewlett, Georgia, not far from where she lived. Then she taught at the school in the Sand Hill community where she was born and grew up. While teaching at the Sand Hill School, her mother became ill with typhoid fever. Their doctor, B.C. Powell, recommended that they get private nursing care, which they did. It's from watching this nurse take care of her mother that Edna decided she wanted to go into the field of nursing. In 1905, over her father's objections and with the encouragement of her mother, she entered the Georgia Baptist School of Nursing in Atlanta, Georgia. She spent her time in a town called Yangzhou, and while there she would help to establish a hospital and a church. Both are still in existence today and thriving. Also, while in China, she would experience one of the most terrifying experiences of her life. On December 7, 1941, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and a state of war then existed between the U.S. and Japan. On December 8, 1941, Edna Earle Teal officially became a prisoner of war of Japan. Japan had already occupied China in the 1930s. The missionaries and doctors were never placed in internment camps. They were allowed to stay in their own homes. She left China on June 29, 1942, with other missionaries, nurses, and doctors. They were allowed to leave because they were part of a prisoner exchange between the U.S. and Japan. Edna was aboard a boat called the Conte Verde. They landed in Africa on July 22. The prisoner exchange took place the following day, July 23, and then she boarded the Gripsholm, which would take her to New York City, New York. The Gripsholm left Africa on July 27 and arrived in New York City on August 25, 1942. Edna made it back to Villa Rica, Georgia on September 7, 1942. She tried to go back to China after the war, but the mission board would not allow it due to her health. Edna continued witnessing to people and telling them about God until the day she died. She died in Villa Rica, Carroll Company, Georgia on March 11, 1968, at the age of 89. She is buried in the family plot at Hillcrest Cemetery, Villa Rica, Georgia. Her autobiography, My Walk with God in China, was published after her death by the International Mission Board of the Southern Baptist Convention.
That is the story of Edna Earle Teal. I am your host, Sam, and this is Honoring the Departed. I hope you have found our video educational and entertaining. That is all for this episode. Have a blessed day.
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.